know this isn't my usual stream, and that's totally fine. This isn't a normal stream day, but I have no game tonight, and I am so excited about this that I can't wait. Like, I love Twilight Imperium. Absolutely adore Twilight Imperium. It is one of my favorite games of all time. I love playing on playing friends, but most of the time I've played Tabletop Simulator. So this is the first time I get to see Twilight Imperium digital, and I'm really stoked. So I'm sorry if I'm like really excited. This is my jam. And I know I'm not great at strategy games. That's fine. I don't care. I'm having way too much fun just even thinking about this. Yes. Okay. Yep. Production. Combat. Alright. Hey. They have a demo now for Twilight Imperium, and I am so stoked. Ah. Okay. So, need to have one of those. Always need your flagship. And then carriers are not a problem. I have a few fighters, dreadnought, and a couple cruisers. To battle! At least this demo is very short. I believe it is only like a little bit. They haven't released everything yet. So this is just an example of what they already have available on the demo. Just so that way, if anybody wants to see what this is like, this is what typically combat is, except they make it look nicer. So I'm really excited. Okay, sorry, I'll shut up. Opposing forces, they're each round, dice rolls, blah 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 blah. Yep. So typically during a game of Twilight Imperium, you get these really cool action cards, and they help you do all sorts of cool stuff if you've never played before. Typically when you roll high enough, you get a hit. So in this, you get to say, no, it doesn't touch me. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh my god. Okay, so. Okay, before I assign hits, I'm gonna roll. They have simplified so much. Oh, even from the tabletop simulator. Oh boy, okay. So yes. Oh, so it's gonna prompt you. That's nice. Cool. Get 2 hits. I will... It's one of my dreadnoughts. Okay. So you can see how it automatically goes ahead and assigns targets. Typically, you, in a standard game of Twilight Imperium, you pick which ships get hit. Okay, so at the start of rounds from combat, add +2 to the first one. Ooh. Okay, so it prompts. That's really nice compared to some of the other ones we've done. Alright. And then there's a fighter. Oh, man. Of course, the more you whittle away, the better off you are. Oh, man. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, it's the first round. Man. I'm just gonna keep that. Alright, cool. Oh, boy. Yeah, play that. Okay. So nobody hits because we both shielded. Combat is very slow go. This is actually pretty fast compared to some hits I've done. Ow! I don't think it matters. I think I'm SOL. Regardless, that's how combat works typically. I'm super stoked. I'm excited. I can't wait to see what the full game is going to be like because they say there's supposed to be asynchronous gameplay, which will be nice. Okay, so let's do... all of them. Thank you. Because War Suns are the best. It's actually quite nice we get to play around with it. Okay. I've never had 2 War Suns on the board before. This is exciting. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh wait, there we go. Alright. And the cool thing is after each combat, I believe, technically, all your stuff kind of fixes itself, like they go in for repairs. Alright, so we don't have to spend any action cards. Sweet! Does everybody blow up? Yes! Oh, this is so cool. Yeah, this definitely helps with making sure that gameplay kind of flows better. One of the biggest issues I think I've had whenever I do play Twilight Imperium is that combat gets crazy, it gets very crowded, or if you have a large fleet like this, there's so many dice rolls going on, you need Tabletop Simulator to help. Okay. It's a lot. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You won't let me take out your War Sun? Okay, good. The War Sun's the worst one. Okay. Just come on. No hits. Heck yeah. Just... I love it. Assign 2 hits. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and do those. Knock out some of my fighters because they're cheap. Now, if I remember correctly, I don't think fighters can be without... Yeah, okay, so they have a dreadnought. They need somebody to house them, essentially. It doesn't matter. I already won. Of course, this is just an example. This isn't like a wholesale whatever there's gonna be. Let's see. Most of it's gonna be space combat. That's okay. I'm still really stoked about it. This is really short. I was just like, oh man, this is really cool. I wish I could show what's going on here. I'm excited. I can't wait for the full game to come out because Twilight Imperium's a fantastic game. Highly recommend it, especially if you like strategy. So if you really want to, give it a shot. The demo is available now. It's free, of course. and you'll be able to play that. Yay! Okay, I'll stop squealing about Twilight Imperium. There's not much here. If that's all that we have going on for us, then I mean, I'm not really gonna like bore anybody with that because it's like, oh man, that's it. That's all she wrote. Oh no. It's a little sad though. That's all I got right now, at least for us to look at the moment. I wish I had more. Oh gosh, I probably should actually get some work done. Okay. What about this? I need to work on a campaign idea anyway. Let's change that. No. No. Okay. You need our heart. Campaign planning. Hey. Done. I'm not gonna go too crazy about the stream stuff. I just wanted to be like, hey, this is what's going on. I just saw that for Twilight Imperium. That dropped earlier today and I got really stoked. So I was like, heck. Here we go. And this one. Got it. Put me down here. Okay. Yeah. That works. Okay. And just so that way there's something going on in the background. Music, at the very least. I am very much a mood music kind of person while I work on stuff. Let's see. Let's do this one. Just gonna shove it in this corner because that's not the important stuff. That's just there for audio reasons. Okay. Let's do desk gaming. Cool. Okay. This one. We need steady vibes. And then add audio output. There we go. Perfect. Right. And of course, window capture. Where is it? Haha. Don't care. So, let me get this. Below all the cool stuff. What up? So much stuff. Alright. I don't care about tabs right now. Or maybe I do. Okay, so I have ideas for a new campaign that I need to work on because I'm gonna forget about it. I also have to work on a puzzle combat encounter for a monk, a druid, and bard, and a sorcerer. I probably should work on that one first. The campaign stuff can wait, but I am still working on it. Okay, so let's do puzzle boss battle. Okay, so, and then we'll do campaign 2. I was gonna put Electric Boogaloo, that's fine. Okay, so puzzle boss battle. Party members. So we have, in the party, we have a let's see, Circle of the Land Druid. All level 6. Okay. Well, let me just go and look at their character sheets. No, D&D Beyond doesn't want to do that. Of course, it's every time you want to work on something. That's when D&D Beyond decides that it doesn't want to work. Just goes no. Okay. Well, it's like purple land, temperate, druid. I know it's a psionic sorcerer. Can't remember what college the bard's in. And then I think the other one, the monk, is a shadow monk. I'm gonna say College of Lore. Lore is pretty common for bards, so even if I'm wrong, I'm not off by that much. So it just depends on the special stuff that the bard gets to do. So let's see. Press the wrong button. Okay, so goal of the boss. Rescue 2 hostages. Avoid detection, or avoid being hit. Disrupt. Nodes by using class-specific abilities. Okay. Let's see if I can get this to function properly in my head. Oh, I love how D&D Beyond's saying, I'm loading, I promise, and it's like, no, you're not. You're just not. Sorry, sucks to be you. Alright, deactivate. College of Lore. I was right. Ha! Lore Bard. Aberrant Sorcery, that's what it is. I need to get rid of this level 1 character somebody made and then just stuck it in there. Okay. Oh, okay, I see who it was. Okay, so that's the goals of the boss battle. Pretty much the boss battle is going to be right there. Pretty much as soon as we start the session, that's when boss battle's gonna start. Party's gonna be introduced. I need to introduce them to the idea of using specific class-based abilities in order to, you know, achieve their goals. Alright, so how do we do that? How do we engage? Especially for, like... let me see if I can describe personality types. Very new to D&D. Super new. Rules litigator. Not gonna say a rules lawyer, litigator. Here for story. Chaos bringer. I feel like if my party saw this, they'd agree with these. Like, almost wholeheartedly. So. If they won't take offense, it's fine. Okay, so. Internal server error. Well, at least I know what they are now before, like, I really start diving into it and I get stuck. Okay. So, let's see. Lore Bard, of course, the advantage is having more spells. For Shadow Monk, 5e, are the Way of Shadows, Stealth, Subterfuge, Teleportation. But the Circle of Lantern also has that. Misty Step. Rat Familiar, which she loves. So. Trying to, like, list their assets. Like, what can they do? What's really important to them? That kind of deal. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's right. Darkness spells. Rat Familiar. Brighter Die. Hide a Guy. Alright. Let's see, what else can we do? What else works? Ugh. Not what I was looking for. Okay. Okay. Alright, so if we're working on we need to do other stuff. Okay. Those are big three for the druid. Let's see, what else do we need? So we got the druid, we got the... Kind of got the Shadow Monk. He's here for story. That's his goal. That's what he likes doing. He previously used his darkness to see through and also kind of give himself an advantage. So we can do that again. Why would someone have multiple this is what I get for, like, Googling it. Okay. Speedy. He's super fast, so we'll use that. So we'll have to try and use that in the boss fight. What else do we need? What else can he do? Okay. So this is a story thing. Innate psionic battery. Okay, so we have the innate psionic battery. Let's see if D&D Beyond is trying to play nice, so I can take a look at the Lore Bard's spells and get prepped. Okay. What you got, homie? I don't care. Okay, let's see. Healing word, that's good. Aid, always nice. Hellish rebuke, pass without trace. Stinking cloud, that's a fun one we don't get to use very often. And vampiric touch. Okay. Lots of, well, like sending, mass healing word, lots of heals, a couple of charm, like charm person, some utility stuff, but it's mainly healing and combat. I just spent that 3rd level spell slot, so let's see. Vampiric touch. At 3rd level. Okay. Because I want to see if I can, and I want to see if I can use that. I don't know if I can, but it's an idea. I might be able to. Let's see. Story thing. Related to one of the hostages. Typically I use this, this is my excuse to let me talk to myself, and it actually has like a purpose. Rather than I talk to myself and people look at me funny. Because I could say I'm talking to somebody. It's always an excuse. Oh yeah, okay. Loves getting to use instruments. Say, very much. Not really like against rules litigation for the aberrant sorcerer. I totally get it. Oh man. Okay. Broom of flying. I remember that. Not of lying. Broom of flying. Broom of lying. It's a Roomba. Just pretending to be a broom. Okay, let's see. Aberrant sorcerer. 5e. Every time I type 5e to the end of something. Yeah. I blab to myself a lot, like even when I'm out in public, so it's a problem. Like I'll be in the grocery aisle and I'm just talking to myself. Okay. Let's see. Story thing. Minion of BBEG experimented on PC. Telepathic speech, they're 6th level, resistance to psychic damage. Okay. Let's use that. They spell resist. No, I didn't. Resistance to psychic damage. I'm just gonna shorthand it. Advantage on charmed or frightened. Okay. As long as we have some, at least a couple of hallmarks that we can build this around. I can't D&D Beyond crap the bed again, so heck yeah. Alright. I'm a little more worried about the druid because she is very new and is kind of confused about what she can and can't do. So I'm trying to like figure out what kind of game can I run, or what kind of puzzle could I run that could help her, because she really wants to try. It's just she's kind of struggles. Maybe let's change Wild Shape. She hasn't touched Wild Shape at all. And she's playing Circle of the Land, Circle of Land Druid, so it's not too bad. But you can see where she's not used to it yet, and she doesn't know all the stuff she can do. So let's focus on using spells for her, because she's getting used to that. I just want to make sure she has a good time, especially because this is a very short campaign, like insanely short. I think it's only 10 sessions long. Alright, let me see if I can pull up your character sheet. Alright, D&D Beyond, please don't crap the bed on me so I can take a look at you two. Cool, don't care. Yes, there's no VTT. You didn't give me access? Okay. Well, sucks to be the sorcerer. Didn't give me access to the page, so meh. Alright. Hold person. Pass without trace fog cloud. Misty step. Still hasn't leveled up to level 6, but that's fine. It's not really going to add much. Lightning bolt. Ooh. That's a fun one. I enjoy lightning bolt very much. So let's see what we can do with that. Should have like, what, 3 spell slots at level 6? Let's take a look at the Shadow Monk just in case I missed anything, because I don't want to... I don't know if, again, D&D Beyond comes decide to just go. So. Long Strider. Okay. Good. Can cast Darkness at will, thanks to Shadow Mark. Step of the Wind. There we go. Dash is a bonus action. Okay. So let's... Step of the Wind. And then on top of that, Long Strider. So he could be across the battlefield in mere seconds. Rather than just, you know, going, hey, I'm over here in like 5 minutes. Okay. Alright, let's see. What can we do with this? How can we work with this? Because our goals is they need to be able to rescue the hostages, disrupt this ritual that's supposed to occur. Attacking nodes using class specific class or character specific abilities. Okay. Let's just take this off as a goal. We don't need to really, as long as they're doing their job, it should be. Okay, so let's do a scene setup. Right, so when they enter the scene, party comes into a lab with the BBEG in the center, performing a ritual to cast phylactery through time. Again, when I said this is like a sequel to a previous campaign, we ran Chains of Asmodeus, and I had another character who was playing Warlock, and it just worked out so beautifully. Like, he didn't know who his patron was, and there's this, one of their goals was to find the Unmaker, and it just made hilarious sense if the Unmaker was his patron and causing him problems. So I thought it was brilliant. They did too. Oh. Ah, gaming monkey. Yeah, this is why I don't pay attention. As I just work. Alright, go to that one. What's the next one? Quiet meditation. Okay, we can do that. Morning. Window. Meditation. Lordy, I haven't meditated in forever. Meditation is for people who got time for that. Okay. This is my meditation. I don't know about anybody else. I enjoy working on something, and that is like brings me a little bit of peace. Okay. For time. There are 4 nodes. Acting as conduits. For psionic power. More magic. I'm just gonna make this like bullet points so I can go through and try and alter it as needed. I don't know if that makes any sense. Okay. So we have this. We have what all the party members enjoy doing, what they have available to them. So then we'll just kind of scroll back up, reference, scroll back down. And then we have our goal. Disruption always fails, quote unquote, but they still victory by destroying Mythalar and killing the minion. Because the minion to them is the real BBEG. The actual BBEG is just kind of there. She's more of like, hey, you're going to see her in the future. Haha, here's a reference. But here's the real dickhead you need to worry about. Okay. So we have that going on. That'll be that. Let's see. BBEG's floating in the middle. Minion is maintaining machinery and magic flow. Too distracted at the beginning to notice or interfere with the players. Okay. We're just gonna do to interfere. He may notice them, but not gonna actually interfere with them. I just realized, like, how am I supposed to introduce the mechanics if I can't do that? And unfortunately, this isn't a kind of game where I can take a mechanic, introduce it over a long period of time, get the players used to it, and then use it for a boss battle. I have to do that another time. This is a very short game. Okay. Let's think here. So they come in, they see these 4 nodes. Alright, let's see. What could we do here? How to introduce node destruction. Okay. Now this is where I'm spitballing and where I get stuck. It's like trying to figure out what to do, how to put this in and how to make it work. So one idea is have each node resonate with a different character or different PC. We'll just do PC because it's easier. Okay, that's the easiest one. Each player will go, ah, yes, I resonate with this node, da-da-da-da-da. But that doesn't feel very satisfactory, you know? Like, that doesn't seem to feel right. Because then how would each one do it? So let's do Druid. Lightning Bolt. The Sorcerer would be like any kind of magic. Any kind of psionics. Monk. This could be both. It could be a class-related thing or just overloading the battery. Overloading the node. Messianic ability. Or punch a lot. This seems very MO for most of the time there. So the issue I'm having is that we don't do combat. Combat has not been a thing. They had their first full combat last session, and it was against a bunch of guards who are a CR half. So it's more about laying low, because the BDEG is a lich, like a full-on lich, CR 21, they're level 6, they're gonna die almost immediately. The minion is like a CR 16 mage or necromancer. So I was trying to kind of like make it very evident, like, hey, look, you're not supposed to be taking these guys head on. This isn't the goal of the campaign. The campaign is so that way you guys can try subterfuge, see what you can do in the background with more social stuff in D&D, and then, you know, kind of introduce that idea. And kind of try to get as close as you can before, you know, going in an all-out fight. Which is, again, why I can't let them face the lich head on. They will die. Oh, no, not that one. So let's do that one. And again, the ritual is always intended to fail, otherwise the previous campaign never happens. Let's say CR 16. He's weaker, but they should be able to take him as long as they do the nodes. And it's kind of like, how do I make this like at least a 4-turn combat? You know, 4 turns is about right. Any longer than that, most everyone gets really kind of gets bored. Any shorter than that, everyone feels a little like they didn't get to do what they wanted to do. Music desync. That'll work for the bard. Bard loves whipping out bagpipes every chance. Okay. That's just one option, though. Trying to think, because it's like, alright. Like, I get it. There's the main ability that they've used the most, I think, is Disguise Self for the bard. The bard has disguised himself as a mafia member and a guard, so that way they could grab passports to get onto the Netheril City, and then get onto a ship and steal, like, the minion ship. Let's see. Have a hostage connected to 2 nodes. Let's see. Similar to above, but how can we change that? Add a layer of finesse or medicine? Yeah. The idea is that they're more worried about the environment. The ritual is unstable. So let me, let's do that. Let me add a complications tab. Okay, so complications, it's the environment. Similar to a chase. Many things, and it will happen on initiative. Counts 20 and 0. Barring ties. Okay. So having it do that kind of helps, gets us a little bit more of an idea there. Medicine check, or I guess I should do sleight of hand or medicine checks. To unhook a hostage. Yeah, I know I can't spell. That's fine. That's what spell checker's for. And the environment's gonna be a problem. Minion notices them after first node disrupted. Because the idea is that once he starts noticing them, then he's going to start flinging things at them, trying to get them to stop. But if he disconnects from the ritual, it could cause some serious problems. So I guess that's where I'm like, nah. Because honestly, this right here seems to be the most logical. Like, each player has something they can do. Something that is in their character sheet. We know they can do it. Cool, sweet, let's go. Which I can make those. Whatever, grammar checker is not a thing. Okay. Let's see. Again, it's helpful to talk it out in debug ducky. Because sometimes people throw ideas at me that I just don't think of, or I find something that I don't think of. What about ignore nodes, harass the minion. Cause the minion to destroy the nodes while maintaining the ritual. That could be interesting, and it would add I feel like it would add some more drama and a little more personal for at least 3 of the characters. Actually, no, all of them. Yeah, because he wanted to experiment on the Shadow Monk. The Aberrant Sorcerer is a previous victim. And then the Bard and the Druid, both of the hostages are related to, like, they're related to one of the hostages. Like, each. Or have a relationship with the hostage, with one of the hostages. So, harassing the minion, I really like this one. I would like to keep it. That is a horrible color. There we go. That's a good one. This one's kind of eh. Like, maybe, but I'm not thrilled with it. It's a great backup, but I'm not, nah. Okay. Environment, minion, okay. Minion. What would the minion do? Needs to maintain concentration. No, just the minion. Okay. So the minion needs to maintain concentration at all times. Cannot outright fight, but we'll use... what could he use? What would he have at his disposal? failed experiments. That could work. Use the Majin stat box for failed experiments. Weaken if needed. The Demos Majin aren't too bad. They're pretty weak, if I remember correctly. They're not bad, like not horrible. I like that. That's good. That's good. That's really good. Okay. Okay. If concentration lost, use reaction to re-establish link to ritual? No, that's not what I wanted. Okay. That's a good one. Because he's gonna want to see this through. He's been trying to get in good with the BBEG the entire time. That's been his goal. And he's been doing these horrible experiments on people to try and get it to happen. What else could we do? Yeah, I know. I'm just distracting myself, albeit temporarily, to try and figure something out. So the minion is going to try and re-establish a link if possible, sending failed experiments after our party so that way they get messed up. That adds a combat layer to it. Would use failed experiments as magic detonations, just in case I can't say the B-O-M-B word. Redirect attacks onto minion / nodes. That would be a monk specific thing. Y'all are helpful, thank you. I really appreciate this. This is really nice. Okay, that helps a lot. Okay. The more and more I think about using the minion, them harassing the minion, the more I want to kind of keep that going, and then using the failed experiments as kind of like makeshift detonations. That way they can use that to either throw the minion off or destroy the nodes that are helping with the ritual, stuff like that. So, but this, if we do that, that means the hostages are kind of off to the side, but still connected to the BBEG biomachinery. Need to be released. Okay. I like this. This is good. This is very good. Okay, so let's Ignore that. None. I just wanted to strike through it because I'm like, yeah, we don't need that. There we go. Because we don't need that stuff. It's there if I want it. I can turn the highlighter off, but it just helps me focus on that one thing. We can still use this. So now we got the idea of the boss battle. Players are more than likely going to focus on the minion, while the BBEG is just kind of there. They've never seen her before. They don't really care about her, but the minion is the one they want to get. They want to kill him, like so bad. Okay, I like this. And this is during the height of Netheril, when magic was being basically stretched and molded in ways that it shouldn't have been. So wild magic is pretty common. Whenever they cast a spell, we have a home rule that they roll a d20 and then they roll them a d10,000 table for crazy effects. So some of those can be pretty dang helpful. Others of them, not so much. So it just depends. So let's do Wild Magic Surge. Whenever someone casts a spell, the weave reacts violently. This could be just as simple as rolling odds or evens, or we could pick a different die. Casting any spell, player must roll a, let's say a d6. Because what? It's a, not a 10. It's not, it's like a 15, a little over 15% chance, 16, 17% chance of rolling a 6. Or am I dumb? Am I being dumb? I don't know statistics that well. We could do a d8 and it would be less frequent. On a 1, it doesn't matter which die we pick. It's just on a 1 Wild Magic Surge. First, and the player must roll on the D 10,000. That could just be a lair effect almost. I just have to have a sticky note that reminds me to do that. Okay. We're getting there. We're getting there and we're getting it done. Minion only cares to keep the ritual going. Will not outright attack unless absolutely necessary. Okay. Got that. Now let's work on some of the darn it, I keep doing that because I'm so used to it. Alright, so let's work on the initiative count 20. And then initiative count 0. This potentially could be a very interesting fight, and if it's going to be the majority of the session, then I do need to make sure that it's at least interesting. Okay, let's see. What could we do? What would be something interesting, especially for a wild magic, psionic type deal? And then let's see, let's try and come up with like maybe 4 options. see. We could do a psionic wave. A psionic pulse exudes from BBEG. DCs make a DC, let's say DC 15, dex save, or be pushed back, let's say 10 feet. Kind of like a thunder wave, but no damage. Second, let's see. Psionic Scream. More power. Comes off BBEG, causing severe headaches. DCs make DC. Oh gosh. Okay, we have a bard. So wisdom saves are gonna be pretty high, at least for those two, but not for the bard, and not for the sorcerer. So let's go DC 14. Con save. Ooh, let's change it up. Con has been one that nobody really uses that much. Con save. Or have disadvantage on their next attack roll. Or, ooh, how bad do I want to be? Saving throw? Or ability check? Let's do ability check. Saving throw seems a little harsh for a health. I need to pee, and I need to contemplate. I will be right back. Alright. Back to it. Let's see if we can figure this out. So far, we've gotten some great ideas, at least just from blabbing. That helps a lot. Alright. We have the idea of rescuing the 2 hostages so that way we can get them out of there. And then we will see what we can do. Have the minion be the main target. BBEG is protected either by some kind of force field, whatever else, that we can just hand wave away that she's not that important. Don't worry about her because... And most of the players in the campaign already know that she's untouchable, and that's fine. I don't think they want to draw her attention anyway. So we got that going for us. Let's see what else we could do. Ooh, yes. How minor are we talking? Are we talking like a... they get reset on their position? Because that could work. Hey, hey! Because if it's a minor temporal slip, then I could see, like, they start their turn here, and then we scooch them back, or we put them somewhere else where they were previously. The only downside is you have to keep track of where they're positioned on the map, which could become a little weird. Or we could have it be something beneficial and throw them off their guard. Oh, temp HP. Ooh, ooh. I can't spell because I'm too excited with ideas. Temporal slip. Ah, so like disadvantage on your next attack roll. That would be work for the psionic scream. Let's switch that out. Temporal slip. Okay. Then this one. Now we're gonna start ramping it up as the turns go on. We want them to feel panic. We want them to start kind of going like we have to hurry up. We have to get this going because they're not really gonna be taking too much damage. We want to make sure that they are constantly on their toes. So psionic scream. Okay. PCs make, let's say DC 15. Uh-oh. Did it drop? No? What just happened? It still says I'm online. Oh, that's weird. Uh-oh. Oh, darn. Okay. What is going on? That's so bizarre. Okay. Okay, that was weird. I didn't expect that at all. Oops. Okay. Oh, man. That was bizarre. Psionic Scream, let's see. Players make a DC 15. Let's go ahead and say they gotta make a DC 15. We've already done Dex and Con. Let's do Wisdom. Play into that. Play into our Monk and our Druid. Or Wisdom save, or take what's a non, like, absolutely horrendous condition to have? Ooh, restrained. Let's say take what? Darn it! I keep forgetting that I have my hotkeys. My numpad, which is my favorite thing to use numbers on, is tied to my OBS. and I keep pressing buttons that I don't mean to press, and making OBS do things that I don't want it to do. So, oops. Let's see. Take 3d6 psychic damage. So even if the sorcerer fails, the sorcerer should be fine because, well, and be restrained or just until the end of their next turn. Not completely debilitating, but it still keeps you kind of like, alright, you gotta be careful. And the ones this is probably gonna hurt the most is the bard. And the bard doesn't need to be everywhere all at once. So we'll see. Okay. And then the last one. Actually, let's just do 3. Let's just do 3. That's actually really solid. For initiative count 0, I think it should be more environmental stuff. This is more from BBEG. This is like physical rights, debris, etc. Okay. I kind of don't want it to be like they get damage or they need to make saves. It's more like things appear in an unoccupied space. Like debris falls, like the building is shaking as the ritual is happening. So there's kind of like a fever pitch type deal. Let's see, building begins to shake. And this doesn't necessarily have to be things that actually happen. It could just be like I describe something to them, get them on their toes, again, trying to make them think and make them go, oh shit, we gotta move. We gotta get going. We can't stay here, because if we do, we are screwed. It's like, alright, cool. We can do that. I'm gonna switch this to the bullet menu and then these to the numbers. The numbers help me, I don't know why. I have no reason. Debris falls from the ceiling. Yep, I knew I spelled it wrong as soon as I saw the I before the E. Because I before E except after C, except for a very select amount of words. So let's see. What else can we do? I do like that temporal slip though. I really like that one. That one was good. Okay. Let's bold these. Debris falls from the ceiling. And let's see. 1d6 plus 1. Large sized debris on the map. Debris acts as half cover. Give them something to protect themselves with. Okay, columns and larger chunks of stone begin to fall. Add 1d4 plus 1. The only reason I'm doing plus 1 is that way there's not like just one thing on the field. I want to have at least 2. 1 columns or huge size debris onto the field. Columns and huge debris act as full cover. Okay. Yeah, because I don't... Cover has changed in 2024 rules. Darn it. I have like this cheat sheet mouse pad, and it's 2014 rules. Darn it. Yeah, because for 2014 rules, it's +2 to AC for half cover, and +2 to your deck saves, and then for full cover, it's +5. Or no, 3/4 cover. 3/4. Ooh, yeah, there we go. And full cover means I can't see you, so I have to do... Darn it! I keep pressing buttons. It's 'cause it's easy. Oh, sweet Jesus. Okay. We're getting there. That adds cover, so that way our party isn't going to be just SOL out in the middle of nowhere. They will actually have other things to use on the field. And then we'll leave the last round just empty in case, you know, they're out of resources and they're freaking out. Because we don't want them to freak out. We want them to have a good time. And talk about this later. Gonna go to their friends and be like, whoa! As an option, and I don't know if this is a horrible thing or not, it's been a long-running gag that the rat familiar is kind of like a knightly little guy. Like, he talks very posh and goes, yes, my lady, I act in your service. Kind of, you know, very... He's a nice guy. He's very noble. Should I have the rat die a noble sacrifice? He's a familiar. He's gonna come back. Like, he can come back. But for, like, the emotional payoff, because the rat has been very involved with the story. So I'm just like, what do I do? Because it's kind of like the what is it? C-3PO in the Star Wars movie that will not be named for fear of retribution by Reylo fans. When they, quote-unquote, killed him off and then brought him back because R2-D2 happened to have a backup of his personality. It's kind of like that. Because the rat can come back, and it's the same rat. But I don't know if the druid knows that. Because again, she's very new to D&D. First campaign she's ever played. And we've literally only had combat twice. So. And it dropped again. Why is it dropping so bad? Everything's just gone to shit. My goodness. I don't understand what's going on. It's so confused. I don't understand, Twitch. Please explain. I don't get it. I'm having trouble. Twitch is like freaking out and it's kicked me off twice. I say kicked me off. It's like my stream just drops randomly and I don't know why. So I apologize if y'all said stuff and I just didn't see it. I'm so sorry. I don't understand what's happening. I know it's unstable. I get that. But it's consistently. Nothing crashed on me. It's like all of a sudden the stream just drops out of nowhere. Like I know, like my bit rate has stayed about where it is on the regular, so I'm kind of confused. Yeah, just irritating more than anything. Because it's like, oh man. I'm just trying to like figure out this D&D thing and see if I can do like this epic ending. It's alright. It's okay. It's just a day. That's all it is. Just a day. Because I know how the ending goes. Regardless of what they do, the BBEG succeeds. And it's not like a horrible thing that she succeeds. It just means that the Mythalar is unprotected. They can bring down the floating city. Cool. So, the D10,000 is good to go. We'll be good there. I want the one that closest resembles the fluff that likes to try and hit me for no reason. Oh, because I called her Sleepy. I'm a little salty about that. Okay. I am actually, though, super happy. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Sometimes it's nice just to have somebody to talk to and kind of bounce ideas off of, because it's like, I don't want to use... I'm not very good at homebrew when it comes to 5e. I suck at it. Especially like homebrewing monsters. I can't do that. Homebrewing, like doing puzzle combat, actually is not too bad. I'm pretty decent at it. I've had some good ideas here and there. But it is nice to talk to somebody and just kind of like go, alright, here's the idea. Is this stupid? If not, cool. If yes, okay, how do we fix it? How do we make it not stupid? Because I want to make sure my players have a good time. I want to make sure that they, you know, when the campaign's over, they go, oh, do you remember the heist? Oh, the heist was so much fun. I thought it was so cool. We got to break into this huge floating city. It's Debug Ducky. I used to program. I am not good at it by any stretch of the imagination. And Debug Ducky, I will ride or die by Debug Ducky. Because Debug Ducky is a godsend. Actually, for work, I got like a whole bunch of little duckies, and I was just giving them out to people. And one of the older ladies came up to me, she goes, why are you giving me this? And I'm like, you know, in case you have a problem, you just talk to the ducky. As soon as she understood, she kept coming back to me for more because I had a whole bunch of them. It was really funny, because she would just be like, I lost my ducky, can you give me another one? I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm pretty sure she ended up with like 5 on her desk. It was great. Alright, so let's see what we can do here. We have the setup. They walk in, they see the BBEG floating in the middle of the room. Cool. They see the minion standing off to the side. The minion is trying to keep this connection going. He can't. If he loses that connection, he's SOL. He cannot. Now open a new window, please. Thank you. Let me see if D&D Beyond will be nice to me, so I can look at just a encounter builder and try to figure something out real quick, because I want to make sure that I'm not presenting them too much of a challenge, you know, right out of the gate, because that would suck. They would be pretty upset with me if I did that. They're not level 5, they're level 6, but it's close enough. Alright. Do they have a CR16? They have a Necromancer? Oh, D&D Beyond is that broken today. Got it. Cool. What about a Necrotic Centipede? I don't think that should be a CR0. That looks like at least a CR4. Because it can swallow people. And it does 6d10 plus 7 damage. I'm pretty sure that is not a CR0. D&D Beyond broke. And not just a little broke, super broke. My goodness. Oh, calculations and maps. I don't care. I don't care about 2024 rule calculation at the moment. I know they've changed the formula. There's all sorts of different stuff. And I'm sure I could find something other than D&D Beyond right now to calculate the difficulty. What even did they change? 2024 rules are alright. The only thing I like is the bonus to healing, which I thought was a very good idea. They should have done that beforehand. I don't like what they did to paladins. All of my paladin players were like, I'm not playing it again. I'm gonna play something else. Like, oh man. Because they can't, you know, assign a crit. They can't assign a smite to a crit at will, so a lot of them don't like that. Okay. Let's see. They're gonna have... So... 4 level 6. Let's say 1 CR16. It's a hard encounter. Okay. Fair enough. A hard encounter could go badly. Weaker characters might be taken out of the fight. Slim chance one or more might die. Yeah, that's pretty fair. Heck yeah, CR16, let's go! Ooh. This calculator adjusts for, combat magic items. Ooh. Well, hell. Tell me more. And then it also optimizes for players who min-max like crazy. So, okay, I'm gonna bring this over here because this is really funny. Okay, let me move my head. I'm gonna put myself over here so you can see. It's like here's the regular difficulty, right? This should be for 4 level 6 characters for one CR16 hard fight. No difficulty multiplier because they don't. It's just them. Oh, goodness gracious. But then it has these tick boxes, which is very helpful. Relevant combat items, which has been the bane of my existence for 2014 rules. And it calculates that. Still says it's hard, but then it also accounts for if they're combat crazy and they have magic items. Yeah, easy. Nobody cares. It's that bad. Oh man. Where have I added you? Oh, I can add monsters too. Oh, that's nice. Interesting. Actually, that's really handy. I'm gonna keep that in mind. Okay, so the Majin, if I remember correctly, are... Because I'm using the Demos Majin, and I think they're like CR1 or 2. Ugh, put myself back over here. There we go. They're like CR1 or 2. They're not high. I think maybe 3 at most. Throw one of them at the players. Okay, so... Okay. No, okay, here we go. Yeah, okay, CR2s, and all Majin have they kind of explode. Let's pull this. So you can see here. Fire, if the Majin dies, the body disintegrates into a harmless burst of fire. We are not doing that. We're gonna make them explode into a big ball of fire for funsies. So that should be interesting. I kind of want to keep that idea. Okay, Okay, so over here we'll say on initiative count. It adds a layer of like complexity, and I think this will be fun. We want to make sure that the players are kept on their toes. Okay, I like it. I think we're at a good place actually, because this is now we have the wild magic surge, which Lord knows what's going to happen on that. That's good. It keeps us fresh. We like that. We want to keep our players on their toes, and a lot of spells are going to be flung here. That's cool. The minion, who is essentially, for all intents and purposes, the true BBEG. The named BBEG is not actually whatever. Anyway, the minion maintaining concentration allows them to kind of work around the battlefield. Heck, they could even hurt him. And as long as he doesn't die, they're good. They could always try and, you know, their first round, they're going to unleash all their big spells on him. Guaranteed. So I need to kind of negate a couple of those, figure out some way to, that would be my only, like, hey, just let's try not and kill him in the first round. Like, maybe have us, like, some kind of psionic shielding or something, so to negate, like, one attack, maybe two, and then call it there. Just so that way they don't nuke him in the first half, and then I'm sitting there going, well, that's the boss battle, oops. So now what? Again, well, on initiative count 20, they're pushed back, so as long as they don't roll super high, which I don't think, I think the monk will probably be first. He rolls fairly decently when the algorithm is nice to him. So we'll see. Okay, and then some of this is just, I have to go put it on a map, which I have one, I can't edit it on my computer, I have to do it somewhere else. Okay. So then, most important stuff. After the boss battle, party needs to escape to the stolen airship parked outside. As a joke, I really want to put a parking ticket on it. Is that in poor taste? I don't think so. There's a pink parking ticket on the helm. I just think it would be funny. Most of the time, this whole game has been really stupid. They were supposed to work for a guy named Gordon Fieri, and he was exactly who you thought he was. He was a horrible amalgamation of Guy Fieri and, or Fieri, let me say it correctly, and Gordon Ramsay, and it was fantastic. Because we needed something, and I couldn't come up with a name on the spot. And they were talking about restaurants. Whoops. Alright, so... the Mythalar is in the same room, just above the BBEG. As the ritual collapses, this is where it gets fun. I say fun, but it's mainly like, once the ritual fails, that's when all hell breaks loose. Because the ritual will in turn, the collapse of the ritual will also in turn destroy the Mythalar, shredding the minion, like just completely obliterating him from time and space itself, shooting the Lich and her soul into the future, where she is reborn as a future warlock's patron that puts him under a gesh to protect her. And then the party needs to be able to escape. They're either shoved out of the area or shoved back some, and then they need to get to their airship and escape. The Lich is shot forward time and creates the gash, or gas, whatever, on the future Warlock to make him her protector, because that was a fun story beat in Chains of Asmodeus. The minion is shredded. And it doesn't exist in time and space. Woo! That's what happens when you mess with, well, the timeline. You really shouldn't do that. It's seriously a horrible idea. This is why I don't do time travel in any story. Time travel causes problems. Paradoxes? No. The palace, however, begins to fall apart as the disruption has destroyed the Mythalar. Everything is collapsing. Screams can be heard outside, and the city begins to tilt as it falls into the ground. Hopefully not in the base village where they started. Oh, that would suck. Okay. Pink parking ticket on the helm just for kicks and giggles. They'll get a chuckle out of that as long as they make it to the ship, they're basically fine. Get to the helm. Oop. I don't want to highlight anything. Turn it off. Okay. Make it back to their starting area. Victorious. And much rejoicing. There's not really much there. Once they rescue the hostages, their story is essentially over. Because the guy who is currently hunting the monk and experimented on the sorcerer is now dead and erased from time and space. And the druid gets her loved one back, and the bard gets his loved one back. So that should be a nice conclusion, and it also makes them probably very dangerous to the Netheril Empire at the time. Now if they fail, well, they fail, party dies, the hostages die. Not a good story ending and not very satisfying, which is why we try not to kill our party unless we absolutely have to. When it comes to a story game, I try not to, especially when I deeply involve backstory. I don't like it. I don't want to kill off characters if I don't have to. What I prefer to do is keep them alive, maybe do like the Daggerheart thing where they're scarred and people go, oh, you screwed up. Stuff like that. Now, for more, everybody gonna die anyway, like Shadow Dark, I don't care. There's a main overarching story, and backstory don't matter. It's kind of like, I need you to have factions, and your faction backstory makes more sense than your character backstory, if that makes any sense at all. Like, whatever faction you're a part of is gonna have more influence than your personal character, until they reach a certain level. Because you never know. But I like this. Having the debris fall through the air also gives our aberrant sorcerer with a broom of flying some stuff to avoid, makes some dex saves while in the air, keeps her on her toes, and then with the step of the wind, the monk can keep up with the minion or go and deal with the Majin and get away. So that way, you know, if there is an explosion, he can punch, run, it explodes, run to the next one, so on and so forth. The bard probably will focus on healing the party and trying to free his brother, as well as taking care of the minions, so that works. We got that. Then the druid's gonna be set on rescuing her loved one. We're probably trying to deal with the Majin. She's more of a support player, which is good. That's great. Though I really want to kind of make a dramatic moment for her familiar, because she's been having a blast with her familiar. She loves it, and I want to make sure that her first campaign is really memorable. I want her to have a really good time. So far she says she has, so I'm like, okay, yay. But I'm also, you know, okay. We got all our checklist, got all that. For campaign 2, I have a Daggerheart sequel or prequel, and then Cypher dual storyline campaign. Egyptian myth, I can't spell, with modern day timeline. Or how would I say this? Parallel stories. PCs have, or players really, have 2 PCs. A hero and an investigator. This one is what, this idea I've been toying with, and it's the next thing I need to work on. But I am still trying to fight with it, so I am not set to really start working on it. I need to, like, marinade. Then the Daggerheart, I just need to figure out what my players want to do, and then I'll write it up. That one's easy. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I really needed that help, even if it's just a debug ducky. But that helped a lot, so thank you. I hope you guys have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll actually pick up with Beyond Divinity again, and hopefully we will not have any crashes. I've tried to look for bug fixes. I can't. It should already be installed, I think, but I don't know. Regardless, y'all have a good night. I gotta go watch a movie, so that way I can, if Falcor or Lantern ask, I have watched a movie recently. So y'all have a good one.